Hello Chaos Gang and welcome back to my bullshit. My name is Sybil and today I am here alone. If you want any of Ali or I's socials, they'll be linked down in the description below towards my crotch. So you may know on the internet right now there's a trend where basically somebody says like, she's a 10 but she poops in the yard. Okay, maybe they're not all like that. But you're supposed to decide from the starting number and what is leading after that where you would place them. Now I think this trend kind of goes one of two ways. Either it's really judgmental and you're judging people for like everyday human things, or the one where they're just kind of absurd and funny and therefore it's all fun and games. So today we're gonna be over on this side. I ask you guys over on my Instagram to send me a number and what the thing is that they do. Let's get into it. I like how these two are right next to each other. They're a 10 but they only eat noodles, and then they're an 8 but they only eat Kraft Mac and cheese. The wavelength on this one just completely together. We'll mix those guys up. They're a 10, but they only eat Kraft Mac and cheese.
That's what good pussy sounds like.
The only thing they will consume is Kraft Mac and cheese, nothing else. I think I'd have to give this a 3. Not because Kraft Mac and cheese isn't good. Velveeta is better. We can start a fight. I'm fine with it. But not because it's not good, but because how are we ever supposed to leave the house? Do we just constantly have a Tupperware of only Kraft Mac and cheese? We go to a fancy restaurant for an anniversary and I'm ordering and you're just pulling your Kraft Mac and cheese out of your bag. She's a 7, but she's fully obsessed with any show that has queer representation. She's a 9. Me, bitch. The amount of shows I have watched only because I was told there was queers is unmeasurable. Immeasurable. The whole reason I started watching Glee in the first place when I was a kid is because I was told that it gets gay, and then I was hooked. The only reason I watch most shows is if there are gays. Not all, most. She's a 6, but she itches her butthole on the corner of public benches. I mean, if I had to like say anything about this, at least she's being not as obvious as she could be. Not out in public shoving her hands down her pants and like just fully roughing up her asshole. But I still, how would that look? I'm gonna do it, nobody judge. Yeah, that's still pretty obvious. I'm gonna say she's still a 6 because we all get itchy. How often is she, no, serious question. How often is she doing it though? Is it every time we go out in public it's happening, or is it just like, oh, I got an itch and I'm trying to take care of it? Georgie? Hello? I'm gonna leave her at a 6. We all get itchy sometimes. I just hope that I'm not giving a 6 to somebody who does it consistently and constantly. She's a 6, but her asshole is always itchy. She's a 6, but she continually buys books despite having a massive to-be-read list. She's a 10, because that's me, and that's Ali. We will consistently collect and grab more books despite still being on books. I have like 3 I'm in the middle of reading currently, yet I see book and I want book. She's a 5, but she reminds you daily how much she cares about you. That is, to me, still a 5, because I feel as if that is the bare minimum. If you are in a relationship, especially if you live together, and you are not once in 24 hours affirming your partner, I'm not a fan of that. I'm sure other people maybe, I don't know other people. I mean, I know other people, but I don't live in your little heads. Not that your brain is little or your head is little. To me personally, that's the bare minimum. I wouldn't date somebody who didn't give that to me because I like it. She's a 10, but she cries when fictional characters die. She's a 10. She has empathy, she has emotion, she is me. Who doesn't cry when a character they enjoy dies? I mean, I'm sure some people don't, but I sure do. There's nothing wrong with emotions. I never watched The 100, but I feel like if I just said the word Lexa, some of you are gonna cry. She's a 10, but reads Chucky fanfic. Okay, this could go a couple ways. Question. What kind of fan fiction are we talking about, right? Because if she's enjoying some Chucky fan fiction that is just continuing a storyline, basically just like reading a book. No judgment, still a 10. If she is reading a fan fiction where Chucky is NSFW, let's put it like that. Not safe for work, Chucky fan fiction.
I wonder if all the plumbing works.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel like Pinocchio here.
5. Now, I'm not here to kink shame, but if you want a murderous, tiny man-child, doll, baby boy serial killer, to ravage you. I don't think I'm ready for that relationship. And I don't think I ever would be. I'm actually gonna give that a 2. The more I said it out loud, the worse it got. 1. Can we go lower? 0. Now, if it's just story fan fiction, storyline fan fiction, still a 10. If it's weird, 0. Because I want to get one of those life-size Chucky dolls. And if I have to worry about walking into the room and you have my life-size Chucky doll, she's a 4 but has dyed hair and piercings. That immediately bumps you up to a 7. Piercings, hot. Dyed hair, hot. Tattoos, hot. Alternative, hot. What? Hot. What? Hot. What? Hot. What? Hot. She's a 10 but bites ice cream. That is your own downfall. That person is still a 10 because that is more of a them problem. Now, if they came up to me and they put an ice cream cone in front of me and was like, bite, 2. If they just do it, 10. That's your own issue. She's a 10 but makes fun of your passions. Out the fucking door, 0. I don't think it's quirky. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's haha silly to put down somebody's goals, passions, loves, wants, what they want out of this life. And even if they don't mean it, but it's just a continuous joke, putting it down, making fun of it, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. It feels like shit, and there's no reason to surround myself with that negativity, or any of you should do that to yourselves. Out the door. Goodbye. Pack your bag. She's a 10 and you're madly in love with her, but she's straight. That would never happen. I'm not attracted to people that I know are straight. And if I'm attracted to somebody and I find out they're straight, I just cut it right there. The only time I ever liked a straight girl was when I was in 7th grade and not even out yet. But I quickly learned that it is, how do I say this? It's not your fault for catching feelings for a straight girl, because attraction happens, emotions come out of nowhere sometimes, but it is also your responsibility to get over said straight girl because you cannot change somebody's sexuality and you should not attempt to. Now I'm just giving life advice. That's it. That cuts all romantic ties I could have to this person because it will never happen. And I know there's always, when I say this, somebody in the comments that's like, well, when I met my girlfriend, she was straight and now she's a lesbian and with me. That means she was never straight. That means she was closeted, questioning, or just didn't know it yet. It doesn't mean she is straight, clearly, if she's dating a woman. Always that person. That literally means they weren't straight. And that's why they came on to you and ended up dating you in the first place.
Hi, it's full cam Sybil. I also felt like I needed to point out that if you pursued a straight girl and it somehow did work out and they weren't straight and you fell madly in love, you still had to cross so many boundaries to get there. Like, this person told you they were straight and you still like pursued it and didn't care, and like, sure, maybe it worked out in your favor, but that's still not like the best. I feel like the only way it could organically happen is if 2 people were friends and then caught feelings and then explored that. But don't go after people if they say they're straight, even if you think they might not be.
But anyways, no, just would not happen. Some of these are oddly specific and I can only feel like they're about yourselves. Some of you just took this as a chance to trauma dump. I hope everything turns out okay for y'all that did that, but I'm not going to use the number she's a blank but she blanks to your trauma. She's a 10 but doesn't like cats. She's a 3. We would never date. We could never have anything together. I have cats. I love cats. My cats are my children and I will refer to them as such. My cats have health insurance when I don't even have health insurance. That's not a joke. I haven't been to the doctor in I think like 3 years. My cats are always going for checkups and routine appointments. They are my babies. She's a -5. Not for me. To people who may not like cats, that person may be a 10. To me personally, in my personal household and love for my cats, can't do it. They're a 10, but they clap when the plane lands. They're still a 10. That's endearing. Maybe they're scared of airplanes and when they land, they're like, oh my God, thank God we're alive. Maybe they're just excited because we're going on vacation or something and they're like, oh my God, yay, we're here. I don't know. I wouldn't love the attention that it brings, probably, personally. We land and they're the only one clapping and people turn around and like look, like I'd be a little, But they're still a 10 because that's a joy. That is a joy in their life, and I would not dock somebody for that joy. I would, however, turtle myself a little bit into the back of my seat. But I feel like I would also learn to love it. If it's joy, it's joy. I'd get used to it. Now, I'd probably clap with them eventually. helicopter. A news helicopter. Is there another fire in our area? All right, it looks like we're safe, but it is summer in Colorado, so seeing a news helicopter all the way out here is threatening. Wow, two disturbing ones in their own ways right next to each other. You two would be friends. She's a 10, but she begs you to drink her blood every day. 0, I couldn't, no. Here's my thing. It's not even like the asking me to drink your blood. Not that I'm into that, not that I love the idea of that itself. It's the begging. It's the lack of respecting my decision that really is actually upsetting me about this one. Cause like if I was dating somebody and they were like, hey, will you drink my blood? And I was like, no, and they were like, okay, cool. I don't think I'd really think too much about that if I'm being honest. It's the every single day begging that makes me not happy about this one. Now, the next one is she's a 10, but she's genuinely attracted to Thomas the Tank Engine. Now here's the thing, are those technically related? No. Do they give the same energy? Yes. Genuinely attracted. I'm gonna put her at a 5. Now here's my reasoning. I don't think the attraction would make her a 0. I don't think her weird little Thomas the Train kink would ruin everything for us. I would just constantly be in fear that I look like Thomas the Tank Engine because of how attracted she is to Thomas the Tank Engine. Does that make sense? Like I'd constantly be reevaluating myself in the mirror and feeling insecure because I would feel like I probably look like Thomas the Tank Engine if she is with me. And I can't handle that. She's a 10, but she never clips her toenails. I think I saw like a Guinness World Record for like longest toenails or something when I was like 14. I'm good off that. I'm good off that. Ranking, good off that. What are you eating? It's a goldfish. Oh, it's a green goldfish. I thought she was eating some strange plant and I panicked. See, I love my cats. She's a 5, but she knows how to make aesthetic outfits. 7. +2 points. Working with a good outfit makes somebody so much more attractive. Wow, that's so cool. They're more attractive. Duh. She's a 10, but she finds frogs disgusting. Now, she's a 10. Hear me out. I know the queer community loves frogs. I have frog trauma. Wait. Listen, I can't believe I'm gonna put this on the internet. When I was around, I wanna say 10, maybe 11, my family and I were watching a movie downstairs. It was summer, we didn't have air conditioning because it's Washington. We had the doors open and I fell asleep on the couch. I wake up and the floor is frogs. You can ask my mother. I don't know how you would, but she has confirmed this recently because I wanted to make sure I wasn't exaggerating when I was telling somebody else the story. There was hundreds and hundreds of frogs on the floor. I stood on the table. I went from the couch to the dining room table because it was taller, and I stood there crying as the floor just was moving. Turns out the house that we had moved into was in the middle of a frog migration path, meaning that they were going from point A to point B with their instincts in their nature, which I respect, besties, do your thingy. But since we had left the door open, it had made the perfect path for them to try to go through the house. It gets worse because my family, not me included, I was crying on the table. The rest of my family started saving the frogs. They were picking them up, and my mom said I think they counted like 150 that they like had picked up and put outside. For months later, we found dead frogs in the most random places. You go take a shit, oh sorry, there's a dead frog under the toilet seat. Oh, you want to walk up the stairs? Oh, sorry, there's a dead frog shoved into a crevice of a stair.
The memories.
Oh, you lift up the dog food bag and there's a dead frog behind it. So no, I don't like frogs. When I go to the zoo, I will look at frog, but if they are coming towards me, I don't want it. And that's my truth. You guys sent in a lot, so if you guys like this, we can do a part 2. She's a 10, but she hates Halloween. I love Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. As many of you know, I am obsessed with horror. Allie's obsessed with horror. We have a horror-themed living room. Yes, this is Georgie. Her tag says our information, so I'm gonna cover it and you can say hi. Hi. I love to read horror. I love to watch horror. I love to indulge in horror. I like to be scared. I like haunted houses. I like the decorations. I like the general vibe. Allie and I's anniversary is Halloween. I'm gonna put her at a 7. I was gonna rank it lower, but I have other interests, you know? I'm sure we could relate on some other level. It's just that so many of my interests, my interest in books, my interest in movies, my interest in like decor, is so horror and Halloweenish that it wouldn't work super well, I don't think. Maybe she's a 6. I think she's a 6. Now, somebody else would totally love that and totally vibe with that. 2 people that don't like Halloween, make smushy. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you really liked it, consider subscribing. That'd be really nice. My socials are down below, said that earlier, but if I take this cute cup that my friend Ray sent me, sent Allie and I matching ones, it was really nice, and I put it against the screen like this, it looks like I said bye. She's a 10, but she gets uncomfortably close to you and smells you.